He was considered Brazil's answer to Kaka and Chelsea's answer to Lampard, and was even considered as a future Ballon d'Or winner. But when he made the absolutely shocking move to China at the age of 25 in exchange of a massive wage increase of £400,000 a week in January 2017, the entire football world just forgot about him. He never played for Brazil again. He was no longer considered a future Ballon d'Or winner and was also no longer considered as a generational talent. What exactly happened to Oscar's career? This is the rise and fall of Oscar. In order to understand how and why he made this decision, we have to first look at his background.
Oscar! Oh, it's a goal!
Oscar dos Santos Emboaba Jr. was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He lost his father to a traffic accident when he was only 3 years old, leaving his mother to bring up the 3 children in Americana, Sao Paulo. She had to make and sell clothes around their hometown in order to make money. His father left me a house to live in, but I had to work by myself. I couldn't work for a company because I needed to stay with them. I would take clothes to sell and we worked through it. It is not easy for just a woman and her husband these days. Imagine being alone with 3 children. This was Oscar's mother speaking to Global Esporte, explaining what she went through to provide the best life possible for her children. At a really early age, Oscar's football career started to show, and by the age of 12, he joined the youth rank of Ipiranga before he would eventually achieve the dream of every young Brazilian footballer who grew up in Sao Paulo as he joined the iconic club.
Oscar! Oh, it's a goal!
He spent a few years in the youth rank before eventually making his senior debut for the club at the age of 17 in 2008, and by 2009, he started to show everyone exactly what he was made of. According to Brazil's head researcher for Football Manager Paulo Freitas, Oscar was always regarded as one of the jewels in Sao Paulo's youth academy. He made his debut in 2008 but started shining in 2009, making an assist in a game versus Corinthians in June, after also getting praise from Mauricio Ramalho, who called him a classic number 8. The reason why Oscar was seen as a classic number 8 despite the fact that he was widely regarded as a 10 is because of his all-round defensive contribution to the team, which is something that would later come in handy during his time at Chelsea, specifically under Jose Mourinho. In 2010, Oscar moved to Internacional due to contract renewal disagreement, which was eventually settled in court. Anyway, it was at Internacional that the playmaker finally made a name for himself and will soon be called up to the Brazil national team. His time at Internacional was a huge success and he quickly became an indispensable member of the squad. His versatility, vision and creativity was on another level as he was made to play in several positions across the attack, most notably as a 10 or as a second striker. His incredible performances at club level earned him a spot in the Brazil Under-20 World Cup squad, and he did not disappoint. He put in great performances throughout the tournament, with his standout moment coming in the final as he scored a superb hat-trick to win the title for his nation. From there, everything kept going up for him. Just a month later, he got a second call-up to the Brazil national team and continued to impress even more at his club. In 2012, Oscar collected the iconic Brazil number 10 shirt, which was worn by great legends such as Pelé, Ronaldinho, and so on. Ahead of the 2012 Olympic Games, Oscar was ready. This was his big chance to truly announce himself on a much bigger stage. In a tournament where Neymar was seen as the star heading into it, but it was Oscar who came out of the tournament as Brazil's best performer, and this led to
Oscar! Oh, it's a goal!
Shortly after the Olympic Games in July 2012, Oscar joined Premier League side and champions of Europe Chelsea for a reported €25 million transfer fee. In his first start for the club against Juventus in the Champions League, Oscar wasted no time in showing his new club what he was about, as he scored a brace, one of which was an absolutely iconic goal that no Chelsea fan can ever forget. Oscar was always someone who believed in himself and was confident in his abilities. Pelé, while speaking to Global Esporte, had this to say: "I'm going to emphasize his personality. Romario, with all his reputation, did not want to play wearing number 10. He played with 11. Oscar has taken it on." One of the problems during Oscar's early time at Chelsea was the fact that he found it difficult to assert himself more in matches due to the fact that he was a quiet person both on and off the pitch, so he wasn't really demanding the ball from his teammates, but that was something he soon quickly worked on as time went on. Oscar became an absolute force while playing under Roberto Di Matteo, as the Italian made him a regular starter as a creative midfielder in a midfield that boasted talents such as Eden Hazard and Juan Mata. Oscar's major highlights of the season came mostly in the Champions League, and after scoring that wonderful brace against Juventus in his first start for the club, he scored home and away against Shakhtar Donetsk, and his final goal came against Neuerland in Chelsea's last UCL game as they were knocked out of the Champions League to play in the Europa League. During the period Chelsea was underperforming, Roberto Di Matteo was sacked and replaced by Rafael Benitez. Benitez wasn't really keen on Oscar as he only started 3 times in the Spaniard's first 7 games in charge, but he did play the entire 90 minutes in Chelsea's 2-1 Europa League final win against Benfica, and the following day, his goal against Juventus in the Champions League was named goal of the season. In the 2013-14 season, Oscar recorded a then career high 8 league goals and with just 2 assists in only 24 starts in the Premier League, and with a few crucial ones in there too, such as his goal and assist in his man of the match performance against Southampton, opening the scoring in their match against Hull City and local rivals Fulham, and scoring their 4th and 5th goals in Chelsea's 6-0 victory over Arsenal in Arsene Wenger's 1000th match in charge of the club. Not really a crucial goal, but I just decided to add that just for fun.
Oscar! Oh, it's a goal!
It was now time for the 2014 World Cup, which was hosted in Oscar's home country, Brazil. There was high hopes, not just for Oscar but for the entire Brazil squad, to finally bring home a 6th World Cup trophy, their first since 2002. Expectations grew even more after their incredible display in the 2013 Confederations Cup after they demolished the then world champion Spain 3-0 in the final. It all started well as in the opening match against Croatia, which Brazil went on to win 3-1, Oscar grabbed himself a goal in injury time. However, his second goal came in an absolutely disastrous night for the Seleçãos, scoring the only goal in their 7-1 hammering at the hands of Germany.
Oscar! Oh, it's a goal!
Before the start of the 2014-15 season, Oscar decided to give his number 11 shirt back to the returning Didier Drogba and took the number 8 shirt, which was vacated by Frank Lampard. The special one was at the Chelsea helm once again, and this time he decided to rebuild his team around Oscar, which led to the freezing out of Chelsea's player of the previous season, Juan Mata. Mourinho liked Oscar not just because of his attacking prowess, but because of what he contributes to the team defensively. Yeah, that's how you get to Mourinho's heart.
Oscar! Oh, it's a goal!
He began the 2014-15 season on fire as Jose Mourinho appeared to have found his winning formula, but towards the middle parts of the season all the way to the end, his performances tailed off, but despite that, Chelsea won the title. It was the following season, however, that destroyed everything for Oscar. Oscar, clearly facing injuries and burnouts from playing too much matches over the last couple of years, started to perform poorly, and by December, Jose Mourinho was sacked. When Conte was appointed manager, he had the desire to continue playing Oscar. After all, he witnessed firsthand what the player was capable of doing a few years ago. But after an early season slump, Conte switched to the 3-4-3 formation, and unsurprisingly, there was no room for Oscar in his new system. When the January transfer window rolled around, Oscar was linked with the likes of Atletico Madrid, AC Milan, Juventus and Inter Milan. But to the surprise of everyone, he chose Chinese Super League club Shanghai SIPG, citing money as his major motivation for going there. Oscar wanted to provide for his family and didn't want them to go through exactly what he went through during his childhood, even though that's quite unlikely even at that stage. Football is a short career which could one day be ended by injuries. Although Oscar could have still made a lot of money if he had stayed at Europe, he wanted his family to be set for many generations, and to be honest, I respect him for that. It's not easy for a player that talented to decide to sacrifice his career at such a young age, and besides, I think he has already achieved more in his short spell in Europe than most players have. He since lost his place in the Brazil national team to Felipe Coutinho, and despite other Brazilians playing in the CSL such as Paulinho earning call-ups to the national team, he was never called up. His career in China has been great though. He led Shanghai to their first ever league title win in 2018, scoring a career high of 12 goals and registering 18 assists as he did it alongside fellow Brazilian Hulk. Remember this guy? There have always been talks about him possibly returning to Europe, specifically to Chelsea, even as recent as this January in fact. But if he were to run out his contract at Shanghai, which is due to expire in 2024, he would by that time be nearing his mid-30s, and so there might be nothing much for the current 30-year-old star to do in his return. Many say that he wasted his career by moving to China, but there was no guarantee that he would still be playing in the highest level by the time it was time for him to move to China. And with football, you never know. Anything can happen. Career-ending injuries can occur at any time. It remains a topic up for debate regarding where you stand on this issue, and I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, it takes a whole lot of time and effort to make, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet done so. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.